So back at the beginning of the season, before the first week, I made a preseason playoff predictions video. And like I promised, this is my mid-season playoff prediction. I'm with updated teams and who I think will win the division and win wild card spots. So I'm gonna get right to it. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I'm not gonna be talking into the camera. I'm gonna be doing something a little bit new. I'm gonna try it out. So here we go. So at the beginning of the preseason, before the season started, this is how my preseason playoff predictions looked like. I had the Green Bay Packers in the North. They're coming off the Super Bowl, and they were definitely favored to win the North. I had the Eagles in the East. They had all those playoff acquisitions, or not the free agent acquisitions, and the whole dream team hype. So I picked the Eagles for the East. Had the Falcons in the South. They were 13-3 last year to end the season. They were the number one seed in the NFC, so I had them winning the South. And then I had the Rams. Last year the Rams ended, I think, on a good note. Sam Bradford, very young quarterback. He looked promising, and I thought, hey, he's got Steven Jackson. He's definitely going to help him in the running game. They brought in a couple weapons for him, drafted a couple wide receivers. I was like, you know what, Sam Bradford, he might be a good quarterback. They might win that division. Wild card spots, I had the Lions and I had the Saints. The Lions, I knew that if Sam Bradford was going to stay healthy, he was going to possibly win a wild card spot for the Lions, and they are definitely still in contention right now. And then you got the Saints, who went to the playoffs last year as well, but got beat by the Seahawks in that crazy game. But I still had the Saints winning the wild card spot. So with that said, this is how my mid-season playoff predictions look. I still have the Packers winning the North. They're 8-0. I don't know who doesn't have the Packers winning the North right now. They're looking like the best team in the NFL, and they're definitely favorites. In the East, I've switched it up from the Eagles to the Giants. At the beginning of the year, the Giants are very injury riddled. Their number one pick, Prince Amukamara, was out. He hurt him, I believe it was an ankle or foot injury or something along those lines. And everyone thought the Eagles were gonna take that division due to the dream team hype. Not the case. The Cowboys, not consistent. Eagles, not consistent. The Giants have been looking like the most consistent team in that division, and consistency can win you a division. Where teams like the Eagles, Cowboys, and Redskins are not as consistent. So I like the Giants. In the South, I've changed it up, switched my picks. I'm going to take the Saints. Even though I like the Falcons, I liked them last year. They looked like a very dangerous team. They've slowed down a bit this year. The Saints, they've been more, even though they took a nasty loss to the Rams, a team that had no wins. I'm going to take the Saints. I'm going to flip-flop those picks. In the West, huge favorites, the 49ers. They can take the division by week 11 if they win out these next couple games. And everyone else in that division, I'm sorry to say it so harshly, but they're garbage. Everybody else in that division is trash. So I like the 49ers, huge, definite favorites, just like the Green Bay Packers. I don't know who has any other team but the 49ers in the West. And then wild card, still got the Lions there. Can't pull off on the Lions. And wild card, instead of the Saints, I've got the Falcons. Flip-flop those. So at the beginning of the year for the AFC, I had the Steelers winning the North. They had gone to the Super Bowl. You can't knock a team off. Even though they have the Ravens in the division, I picked the Steelers. I like the Ravens to win a wild card spot because those two teams are always contending for the playoffs. The East, always, you got to go with the Patriots at the beginning of the year. Bill Belichick can coach a team. He knows how to handle guys. And I like the Patriots in that East division at the beginning of the year. I had Houston as one of my teams to watch. I know that the Colts, if Peyton Manning did not play, I said the Houston Texans were going to be probably the favorite for the AFC South, and that's why I chose the Houston Texans. In the West, that was another team I had to watch, was the Chargers. I really like how Phillip Rivers can come out. Even though the Chargers tend to come out to a slow start at the beginning of every season, I still pick the Chargers because they know how to end strong. And I don't know. I just like the Chargers. The Raiders were. I wasn't sure on the Raiders, and I knew the Chiefs were going to take a step back this year, so pick the Chargers. The Jets and the Ravens were my two wild card picks. Um, the Jets have been to the AFC Championship 2 years in a row, so you can't knock the Jets off. And the Ravens they've got a hard hitting defense. They know how to stop the ball, force teams to not put too many points on the board. And when you have a team like that, your offense, even if your offense struggles, um, you don't need too many points to win a game. So that's why I like the Ravens at the beginning of the year. So with that said, my mid-season picks, nothing really changed. Nothing really changed. And I'm going to explain this because some people have even said the Patriots aren't going to make the playoffs. I'm going to stick to the Steelers even though they lost to the Ravens two times this year. I have a feeling that the Steelers are just going to squeak in by winning that division by just winning one game. They'll have a record better than the Ravens by one game. If the Ravens and the Steelers tie, let's say they go 11-5, both of them, or something like that, the Ravens are going to win that division, no doubt about it. But if the Steelers go 12-4, or the Steelers go 11-5 and the Ravens finish 10-6, that's the only way I see the Steelers winning that division. So I still have them winning that division. I've got the Patriots still in the East, and everyone's talking about how bad the defense is on the Patriots. I think they're gonna figure it out eventually. I'm not sure about the Jets this time around this year because you can't keep going to the NFC Championship year in and year out. And I don't know. I think the Patriots are still gonna take that division. You can't knock Tom Brady off. You can't forget about that guy. He can carry a team just like Peyton Manning. South still got Houston, definite favorites. Colts bottom of the division. Jaguars bottom of the league. Tennessee Titans kind of in the middle of the road. But Houston definitely top 10 team in the NFL right now. I like Houston. Chargers, this is a very, very, very close division. Everybody is with, 4-4 except for the Broncos, and they're one game behind. I think about who's got the most playoff experience, who's got more experience that second half of the season, who gets hot, and usually in the second half, it's the Chargers. I like the Raiders last year since, what they did is they went 6-0 in their division, but can they keep winning in that division? I'm not sure. Wild card? Yes, wild card. Got the Bills instead of the Jets. The Bills have been putting up more points on offense than the Jets have been. They're a better team actually they're both good at home, but I think the Bills have a slight edge on the road. The Jets, even though they just beat the Bills this last week on the road, I just have a feeling that the Bills might just finally get into the playoffs again for I don't know what, the last 10 years they haven't done it or so. And then you still got to stick with the Ravens. Like I explained earlier, their defense keeps them in games. Their offense just needs to stick with it. Flacco has not been looking too hot, but I still think they take a playoff spot. Notable mentions in this AFC, in this conference, probably the Bengals. I mean, even though they're 6-2 right now, they still got to play the Ravens and the Steelers twice. If they can win 2 out of 4 of those games, then we're talking playoffs for the Bengals. But that's how I see it playing out in the AFC. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little playoff prediction video. Kind of in the midst of doing something right now, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. Bringing you guys 2 videos, not one, but 2 videos today. And Chargers, Raiders tomorrow. So check that game out if you got NFL Network. I'm out.